Texas Congressman Pat Fallon joins me now. Congressman, if Harris blames Trump enough for the border chaos, do you think it might stick? I mean, if you repeat nonsense often enough, and you're going to have someone believe you. That's the way it's going to work, isn't it?
Well, Stuart, that's certainly her strategy. But the thing is, riddle me this, you have to ask yourself, why in the world did this border bill, why did it take the Democrats 3.5 years to even present it? Now, the border bill itself was horrible, but they had unified government. They had the House, the Senate, and the White House for the first 2 years of the Biden-Harris administration. They didn't do anything about the border. In fact, they're only doing it now because the American people are going to be voting in a few weeks. And that border bill would have allowed, they would have said, essentially what it said was, we'll take the border seriously every day when the illegal crossings reach 4,000. When you extrapolate those numbers, that's nearly 1.5 million people coming in every year, and then we're going to take it seriously. And by the way, Mayorkas and/or Biden could have suspended any of those provisions at any time if they saw fit. So it was just a piece of trash. They didn't even consult House Republicans on it either.
Got it. Another one for you, Congressman. The task force on Trump's assassination attempts held its first hearing. You're on that committee. What did you see and find?
Well, we interviewed a lot of the local, and we discussed the situation at Butler from July 13th with local law enforcement. And what they told us was they found that the Secret Service was very dismissive. They were very haughty. They were not easy to work with, and they certainly took a lot of things for granted. And we also discovered that why in the world didn't the Secret Service share that there was a nation-state threat on President Trump's life? They didn't share it with some of their own field agents from the Pittsburgh office, but they didn't share it at all with local law enforcement, who would have done things slightly differently had they known there was a heightened threat. That is inexplicable.
Iran has directly attempted to interfere in our election. What should we do about it? I mean, they've interfered with an assassination attempt.
Yeah, well, you know what we do? There's a lot of things we can do as far as cyber goes, and we're very good with that. And we should be certainly meddling, making sure Tehran computers don't work all too well. Let's just do that. And how about this, Stuart? Enforce the sanctions that exist already.
Yes.
They're making an extra $35 billion a year in oil revenue because the Biden administration refuses to enforce those sanctions. And you can cause, as I said before, a lot of murder and mayhem with that much money.
But you don't want to enforce sanctions because that would raise the price of oil and the price of gas right before an election. And President Biden doesn't want that now, does he? Last word to you.
Well, I'm surprised they haven't tapped the Strategic Petroleum Reserve to get votes.
I think it's half empty. Congressman Pat Fallon, thanks for joining us this morning. You have a great weekend, sir. We'll see you again later. Thanks a lot.